Hey guys, Mario Fan 520 here and Luigi Fan 520 here. And welcome back to Horror Movie Month. The only month, the best month ever. Like, it's the best month ever of the entire year. Like, it's one and only best month. Like, frick it, right? The People Under the Stairs. So this is one of Wes Craven's best films that he's ever created. And it's very underrated too. Considering the fact this director doesn't get a lot of credit, and Brandon Adams as Fool, he's a great actor in this movie, right? Great. I wish he was in more stuff because kid actors back then are way better than what we have today, and stuff like that. The movie basically evolves around this young kid and his relative basically try to break into some kind of rich, wealthy family's house in the entire neighborhood. Like, they're heck rich. Like, they're the richest family in the entire neighborhood. And the reason why they're rich is because they steal the money for the community. The richer they get, the more crazier they get, the more evil they get. And then they realize things don't turn as they planned once they break into this house. And it turns out good, at least for one of them. This movie's hilarious and creepy at the same time. It really is. It's like one of probably the greatest horror comedy today. Brandon Adams, he's like the best actor in this movie. I've never seen a child actor that's actually very strong and stuff like that, because you don't usually see actors like this in the horror movies, because he's not just like one of those Ash characters from The Evil Dead. This character, he's like one of those hood characters, those characters that you would see in the hood. Like, it's just like unbelievable. And do you remember that the father with the sniper and the guard dog? He's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Oh my god, that was fun. And when he thought he stabbed him through the wall, but he killed the bulldog. That was pretty good. And there were some scenes in this movie that can make you laugh, and some other scenes that can make you go, like that scene where Roach, what's his name? You find out that he's one of those people that were trapped in there, and he got his tongue cut off. Remember, they cut off his tongue? Yeah. I was like, that's effed up. That's really effed up. And some of the other things that happen in this movie are really effed up, and they're hilarious too. This is a movie that you can keep on watching, and it's hilarious. I wouldn't say it's a scary movie, but it's definitely a good movie for Halloween. What do you think? Alright, what are your thoughts on this? Basically. This is not Wes Craven's best film. It's not. But it's very good. I think it's one of his best. I think the best film is The Nightmare on Elm Street. His film. You agree? Freddy Krueger. Yeah. Scream is another great one. I haven't seen Red Eye. I heard that's another one of his great ones. But I have a deep respect for this movie. It's really entertaining. It's hilarious. It's scary. And I wouldn't say scary, not scary, but disturbing. Yeah, disturbing. There are some disturbing images in this movie, and the acting is really good. What's the mother's name? I don't really know if they have names, but she's a witch in this movie. I did not like her. I didn't like her one bit. Like, she even abused her daughter. The funny thing is, it wasn't even her daughter. She kidnapped her. And yeah, she thought she was her. No, what's her name? I forgot her name. What's the girl's name? Do you remember her name in the movie? No. I forgot her name, but she thought that she was the mother's daughter. And basically, if you ever speak anything bad in this movie, you basically die. Basically, like, if you ever speak something about bad stuff, basically, like, if you ever mention something that's bad or relates to the devil, you basically are gonna die, basically. The concept is really good. The acting is good. The plot's solid. The scares aren't anything like pop in front of you in your face. They're not like boom, but it's actually pretty catchy. It's actually pretty entertaining. What else is there to catch this movie? The story is good in this movie. The story is very good. I think this is one of the best home invasion, and horror stories and stuff like that, because you have all those stories like The Purge. Yeah. That one was alright. Yeah, that one was. It doesn't lead up to movies like this, because this movie is a classic, I think, in my own ways. Is a comedy? No, The Purge isn't really a comedy, but this is a comedy. This is a comedy, and it's a classic in so many different levels. and it's definitely one of Wes Craven's best films out there. And if you haven't seen this movie, I think you should check it out. Even if you do know even if you don't know who Wes Craven is, you should watch some of his movies because he doesn't get recognized for some of his movies. A lot of his movies are bad, but he does get recognized for his movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, The Hills Have Eyes, The People Under the Stairs, Red Eye. Those movies are actually one of his greatest movies, and most of his movies that he makes, he doesn't usually get appreciated by it, and it's kind of sad too. What do you think? What are your other thoughts about this movie? Like, what did you like about this movie?
Well, I liked when
Did you think the acting was good?
yeah.
The acting was top notch. I did think there were some plot holes here and there, like some things that shouldn't really happen in the movie, but they happened anyway. But I was all right with it. The movie was like, it was a blast, basically. And some of the other characters in this movie, I forgot I think his name is Stan, the person who entered the house. I think they were like selling cookies or something like that. Yeah, and the mother, she is so, oh my gosh, when she was all like, I don't want to see another police or cookie again. I was like, oh my god, like Jesus. And it kind of leads you to think, are these people racist or something like that? Because there's this one part, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen this movie, but there's one part near the ending where she uses this word, if you know what I mean. And basically all these black folks, they basically ring the doorknob, and they know that they stole all the money from the community, basically, and stuff like that. And they know they have some of their town folks in there, and basically stuff like that. Now let's talk about the character Fool. Amazing. He's awesome in this movie. The kid.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor.
Great. He's very good. Brandon Adams is amazing in this movie. This is my first movie that I've seen him in. I'd like to see him in more movies. I'd love to see him in more movies. And he's just a very interesting character in here. He has a lot of charisma. He's very funny at times. Like when I say funny, he's hilarious. Like he'll say some stuff that I'm like, that's clever. And some stuff here and there. He says it throughout the entire film. And you just never get tired of this character and all the other characters. Even if they are a-hole characters and characters you hate, you just gotta love them for what characters they are. And they actually do work for this movie and stuff like that. Like, this movie actually does catch your attention. But yet again, if you don't know who Wes Craven is, I think you should check this movie along with the Scream and A Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because those are very good movies and stuff like that, right? Including The Hills Have Eyes. But this movie, what would you give this movie out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll give it. Victory!
What would you give it out of 10?
A 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a 10. I'm gonna give this an A+. This movie, I'm gonna give this 10 too. There's a lot of things that were going for this movie. There's a lot of funny things. This movie's so hilarious, and it's so entertaining. It's sometimes creepy when you look at it on the stuff that's going on. And I'm not gonna say why it's called The People Under the Stairs. I'm not gonna, just in case if you people out there are viewing this and if you haven't seen the movie, definitely watch this movie, because the stuff that happened in this movie are pretty effed up. It's pretty effed up, and you will learn. I forgot some of the characters' names in this movie because it's kind of been a short period of time since I've seen this movie. Mm-hmm. But all the characters in this movie are fascinating. They're very good. The actors are good. The plot's very solid and stuff like that. The scares are good, and the comedy is just top notch and stuff like that. I was surprised by this movie. I did not know. I knew Wes Craven wasn't known for a lot of movies, but when I saw this movie, I was like, this director really needs to get more attention and stuff like that. Because if he can make movies like this and A Nightmare on Elm Street and The Hills Have Eyes and Scream, he should be able to make more other good movies and stuff like that. And like, he doesn't get recognized a lot today too. It's sad because he actually passed away a couple of years ago. But he'll always be missed and stuff like that.
Didn't he pass away in
2015, I think.
15?
Yeah. So, yeah, his masterpiece films, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, this was one of his best too. It's really good horror comedy movie. I wouldn't call this a straight horror movie. It's more of a horror comedy. There are some scares and there are some laughs, a lot of laughs actually. and it's just very entertaining. And you'll even get some laughs from the antagonist in this movie, like the father. The father's very funny. I didn't like the mother at all. She was just straight up evil. But the father,
sniper.
Yeah, the father had a sniper, and he would say some funny jokes. And I remember he killed the dog, his dog, and he thought he killed Fool. And he's like, I got him, 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 I got him. That was funny. I was like, no, you didn't get him. Apparently you didn't get him. And then when they opened the thing and they saw the dead dog, she was like, you killed Prince. That was so funny. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 movie. I'll have to say it's a 10 out of 10. It's so good. Yeah, and the directing is actually really surprisingly good in this movie. I love everything about this movie, and it's such a good horror movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you should check it out sometime this Halloween, during the Halloween season. It's just such a good horror movie, and I think it's one that most Wes Craven fans should see, because if you love Wes Craven, if you haven't seen this movie, I think you should check this out. It's actually a really good opportunity for you to check this movie and more of his movies, just in case in case you don't know, this director doesn't get recognized for the things he does. It's kind of sad too, because he made a lot of bad movies, but some of other movies that he made, they're actually improved and they're actually very successful. The Hills Have Eyes and Nightmare on Elm Street, I already mentioned those movies. Scream.
Hills Have Eyes.
Scream was one of those movies that reinvented our horror genre for the 20th century, and that was a huge success back in 1996. But this movie surprised me a lot, and it does have some middle ratings and stuff like that. Some people will say this is a classic. Some people will say this is an average movie. Others will say it's bad. I think this is a classic. It's really such a great horror comedy. One of the greatest out there. My favorite horror comedies have to be Shaun of the Dead, The People Under the Stairs, Gremlins. It's sort of. I wouldn't call it a comedy, but it has some laughs here and there. But this movie is so good, and the acting is fantastic. The comedy is just great. The scare factors are really great. Even though it's not like full-on scary like The Exorcist, it's really disturbing if you pay attention, it's really disturbing on the stuff that happened in this movie and stuff like that. And the home invasion part is where everything turns, and it's just like, wow, I love this movie. The home invasion part is where, once you find out that he entered this house, into this devilish madhouse, and he has to try to get out, you're like, oh my god, don't die, don't die, don't die. And these are actually characters that you care about. The characterization in this movie is amazing. It's not like any of those characters from Friday the 13th or any of those characters that are just like there to just die. A-hole characters die, stupid characters die. No, these are characters. They have lives. They have problems, and stuff like that. And basically, and that's why they basically, Fool and his he broke into this house because this family were rich and stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them. I would do it.
Oh yeah. You're a man.
And the reason why they were rich is because they stole the money. They stole the money from the entire community. And it's...
You're a man. Wait. Who was the one that entered the house?
Fool and his friend. Leroy. That's his name, Leroy. Leroy. He remember that scene where he got shot? Yeah, and then when he got shot... Yeah, when he got shot, he was like, "Run, fool!" And then I think the father was all like, "You're a fool now, a dead fool." I think something like that. That's kind of funny and sad at the same time. But yeah, he's not in the movie for that much of the part. He's mostly in the beginning, and that's it. He literally gets killed off, and it's kind of sad. But the rest of the movie that goes on, it's just really great, and the plot's amazing, the acting is great. Oh my god, I just love almost everything about this movie. It's not the best Wes Craven movie, it's not number one. A Nightmare on Elm Street will always be number one, but this has to be my third favorite Wes Craven movie. So you guys... And I'm gonna give The People Under the Stairs an A+. So guys, thank you so much for watching our movie review of The People Under the Stairs. I wanted to talk about this movie for almost a month, basically a couple months. Yeah, and stuff just got in the way and stuff like that, and I wanted to talk about this movie and how good it is and stuff like that, and how entertaining it is. And I finally got to talk about it with my friend Aaron. We got to watch the movie. It's a very good Wes Craven movie. And stay tuned for more horror movie reviews that are coming this month. We're going to review Halloween. We're going to review The Shining, my favorite horror movie of all time. And we're going to review other movies maybe. I think we're gonna review The Birds and a special horror movie on Halloween. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's a surprise. On Halloween, you guys will find out what it is. Only me and Aaron know what the movie is. But on Halloween, we have a special horror movie to review for you guys, and you guys will not be disappointed. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for all of our videos that we make. And stay tuned for the Luigi's Mansion movie that will be releasing this Friday, October 27th, on Luigi Fan 520, his channel. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really good. And it's not going to be great, but it's going to be good in some way. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Season 2 of the Super Mario Bros. Show will be airing soon. Like, really soon. So, stay tuned for that as well. And stay tuned for more horror movie reviews. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'm Mario Fan 520. He's Luigi Fan 520. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.